Everybody lies about AI. So, how screwed are we? Everybody lies, not always on purpose. Sometimes they're selling something, sometimes they're scared, sometimes they're trying to sound smarter than they are, sometimes they're trying to get clicks, and sometimes they honestly have no idea what's coming, but they say it with so much confidence that everybody else starts panicking. One person says AI is going to cure disease, fix the economy, teach your kids, run your business, and make everybody rich. Another person says AI is going to steal every job, control every thought, unleash robot armies, and end civilization before your coffee gets cold. And somewhere in the middle is a regular person sitting there thinking, okay, so how screwed are we? Welcome back to Build Smarter. Today we're opening the room on AI panic. Not the cartoon version, not the fantasy version, not the robots are marching down your street by Friday version, but the real question underneath all of it. What is AI actually changing? What are people exaggerating? What are powerful companies not saying clearly? And what should normal people actually pay attention to without losing their minds? Because here's the truth. AI is a big deal. It is changing work. It is changing business. It is changing schools, offices, construction, media, banking, medicine, security, customer service, and probably a few industries that haven't even realized it yet. But panic is not a plan, and if there's one thing we need more of right now, it's not more screaming, it's clarity, because fear is easy, fear gets clicks, fear makes people watch, fear makes people comment, fear makes people say, I knew it, this is the end. But fear does not help you think, and if you can't think clearly, you can't adapt. So let's start with the obvious. People have been predicting the end of the world for a very long time. Every generation has its version. Nuclear war, population collapse, computers are taking over, Y2K, the internet is ruining society, video games are rotting people's brains, social media is destroying attention spans, automation destroys jobs, and now AI. And to be fair, some of those concerns were not completely wrong. The internet did change society, social media did change attention, automation did replace certain jobs, nuclear weapons really did change human history. So the point is not, relax, nothing ever happens, things happen, big things happen, weird things happen, the world changes, it always has. The better question is not, will change happen? Of course it will. The better question is, what kind of change is actually coming, what part is hype, and what part can regular people do something about? That's where the conversation gets more useful. Because right now, AI is surrounded by two giant walls of nonsense. On one side, you have the hype machine. The hype machine says AI will solve everything. Every company will become more efficient. Every worker will become more productive. Every business owner will magically save time. Every student will learn faster. Every doctor will diagnose better. Every contractor will estimate perfectly. Every customer service problem will disappear. And somehow everyone will benefit equally. That sounds nice, but come on. That's not how technology usually works. New tools create winners and losers. They create opportunity, but they also create disruption. They help some people move faster, and they leave other people confused, behind, or angry. So, when someone tells you AI is pure sunshine, you should probably ask what they're selling. But on the other side, you have the doom machine. And the doom machine says AI is basically a horror movie with better Wi-Fi. The robots are coming. The billionaires are plotting. The governments are watching. The machines are learning. The jobs are vanishing. The humans are finished. And if you don't buy emergency canned food and build an underground bunker by Tuesday, you're not paying attention. That also deserves a little skepticism, because fear can be a business model too. Fear sells books, fear sells videos, fear sells newsletters, fear sells survival gear, fear sells political arguments, fear sells attention, and attention is money. So yes, everybody lies about AI. The boosters stretch the good parts, the doomers stretch the scary parts, the companies hide the boring parts, the politicians simplify the complicated parts, and the rest of us are left trying to figure out what's real. So, let's be honest about what's real. AI is already good enough to replace or reduce some kinds of work. Not all work, not every job, not every human skill, but some tasks? Absolutely. Writing first drafts, summarizing documents, answering basic customer questions, sorting data, generating images, creating simple videos, writing emails, reviewing contracts, spotting patterns, helping with estimates, helping with schedules, helping with reports, helping people who are overwhelmed turn a messy thought into a clean plan, That is not science fiction. That is already happening. And if your job is mostly repetitive digital work, you should pay attention, not panic. Pay attention. There is a difference. Panic says, I'm doomed. Attention says, what part of my work is changing, and how do I stay useful? That difference matters, because the person who panics usually freezes. The person who pays attention starts learning, and that's where regular people still have power. Now let's talk about the big scary question. Is AI going to take over? That depends what people mean by take over. If they mean a glowing robot walks into City Hall, declares itself president, and starts issuing orders in a metal voice, that's probably movie territory. Could AI be used by powerful people, companies, militaries, or governments to gain more control? Yes. That's a much more serious question. And it's not silly, because most dangerous technology does not start with the technology waking up one morning and deciding to be evil. It starts with humans using powerful tools badly. That's the part people miss. AI does not need to become a movie villain to cause real problems. It can cause problems by being used by ordinary human ambition, profit, power, speed, control, competition, laziness, carelessness. That's not as dramatic as a robot army, but it is more realistic. A company might use AI to cut workers faster than it builds a plan for the people affected. A government might use AI to monitor citizens more closely than citizens realize. A scammer might use AI to sound more convincing. A fake video might fool people before the truth catches up. A hiring system might reject people unfairly. A business might trust an automated decision without understanding how it was made. A school might punish a student because a detection tool guessed wrong. A contractor might trust an AI estimate without checking the actual site conditions. That is the real-world version of AI risk. Not always dramatic, not always cinematic, but real. And that's why the correct answer is not, AI is harmless. It isn't harmless, but it's also not useful to sit around acting like the future is already over. Because it's not. The future is being built by the people who understand the tools, and that includes normal people, small business owners, contractors, teachers, parents, writers, office workers, students, superintendents, estimators, bookkeepers, creators. People who do real work and do not have time for fancy tech theater. Those people need less panic and more practical understanding. Because if AI is going to change your work, the worst thing you can do is ignore it. And the second worst thing you can do is panic so hard that you never learn how it actually works. There's a middle path. Use your brain first. Use AI second. That's the rule. Don't hand your thinking over to a machine. Don't believe every answer because it sounds confident. Don't let a tool make decisions you should be making. But also, don't pretend the tool does nothing. That's not wisdom. That's denial. The smartest move is to learn where AI is useful and where it is dangerous. Use it to organize your thoughts. Use it to draft an email. Use it to summarize a meeting. Use it to help create a checklist. Use it to brainstorm a safer process. Use it to compare options. Use it to make your first draft less painful, but then check it, question it, edit it. Use your judgment, because AI can sound right when it's wrong. And that might be one of the biggest lies of all. Not that AI is always lying intentionally, but that confidence equals truth. It doesn't. A confident wrong answer is still wrong, and that's where human judgment still matters, especially in the real world. A contractor cannot pour concrete based on a pretty paragraph. A doctor cannot treat a patient based only on a chatbot answer. A superintendent cannot run a job site from a fantasy schedule. A business owner cannot trust every number without checking the books. A parent cannot believe every scary headline. And a citizen cannot outsource common sense to whoever has the loudest AI opinion online. So, when we ask, how screwed are we? The answer is probably this. We are more screwed if we panic. We are more screwed if we ignore it. We are more screwed if only powerful people understand the tools. We are more screwed if companies chase speed without responsibility. We are more screwed if governments use technology without transparency. We are more screwed if regular people give up and say, well, I guess there's nothing I can do. But we are less screwed if people learn, less screwed if people ask better questions, less screwed if workers understand what parts of their jobs are changing, less screwed if small businesses use AI carefully instead of blindly, less screwed if schools teach judgment instead of just banning tools, less screwed if we stop treating every new technology like either a miracle or a monster. Because most technology is neither. It's a tool, and tools amplify the people using them. A hammer can build a house or break a window. A truck can deliver supplies or cause damage. The internet can teach you a skill or bury you in nonsense. AI can help someone write a safety plan, organize a business, detect fraud, or learn faster. It can also help someone scam, manipulate, automate bad decisions, or flood the world with garbage. That's why AI good and AI bad are both too simple. The better question is, who is using it, for what purpose, with what guardrails, who benefits, who gets hurt, and who is being asked to just trust the system? Those are the questions that matter, not because we should be terrified, but because we should be awake. There is a big difference between fear and awareness. Fear says, everything is over. Awareness says, something is changing and I need to understand it. Fear makes you smaller. Awareness makes you sharper. And that's really what Build Smarter is about. Not worshiping AI, not hating AI, not pretending it's magic, not pretending it's fake, just asking better questions and using the tools without losing our minds. Because, yes, everybody has an AI opinion right now. Some people think it will save the world. Some people think it will destroy the world. Some people think it's all hype. Some people think it's already too late. And some people are just tired. Honestly, fair enough. It is exhausting. But here's where I land. AI is not something to worship. AI is not something to ignore. And AI is not something to panic about every morning before breakfast. It is something to understand. Because the people who understand it will have a better chance of shaping how it affects their work, their business, their family, and their future. So no, I don't think the answer is to sit around waiting for the robot apocalypse. And I don't think the answer is to blindly trust every company promising an AI-powered miracle. The answer is to stay calm enough to learn, sharp enough to question, and flexible enough to adapt, because the world is going to keep changing whether we like it or not. It changed before AI. It will change after AI. And it will probably get weird in ways none of us can fully predict. But weird does not automatically mean hopelessness. Sometimes weird just means it's time to pay attention. So, if you hear someone say AI will solve everything, question it. If you hear someone say AI will destroy everything, question that too. If you hear someone say they know exactly what the future will look like, question them twice. Because everybody lies about AI. Sometimes the lie is hype. Sometimes the lie is fear. Sometimes the lie is certainty. And maybe the most honest thing we can say is this. We don't know everything that's coming. But we do know panic is not a plan. Learning is better. Judgment is better. Clarity is better. And that's how you build smarter. Before you go, I want to ask you something. Everybody seems to have an AI opinion right now. What's one AI claim you actually believe? And what's one you think is total nonsense? Drop it in the comments because I really want to see where people land on this one. And remember, never end in fear. End in clarity.